So nearby Nisha, it's 2 days after Halloween, and we're recording an episode about Christmas to go out the second week of November. Do you know why?
We're so organised.
No, because today's video is sponsored by the Woolman. Reviled historical figure Oliver Cromwell despised so many things that brought innumerable people joy that scientists aren't quite sure whether or not he was just an internet troll who gained access to a time machine and went back in time to fuck things up for everyone. Amongst the extensive list of things he outlawed, perhaps the most infamous is Christmas Day. I love Christmas. Do you like Christmas?
I do like Christmas.
Oliver Cromwell did not like Christmas. He very famously did not like near enough anything that people found enjoyment in. And I think other than Christmas, the one that sums up just how much of a dickhead he was is he outlawed football.
Football?
He told British people they weren't allowed to watch or play football. It's like, what are you doing?
I mean, I don't like football, so I don't care.
But can you imagine if it was outlawed? That would probably actually cause class riots across the United Kingdom. And Nisha, before we move on to Oliver Cromwell banning Christmas, do you have any Christmas traditions you like to share with people watching this in November?
I think I mentioned it before, is I watched the same Christmas films every year with my mum. Other than that, it's just the standard tradition, just open presents, have family around. We don't usually have turkey, it's usually it's chicken, just because it's cheap.
Just a big, usually you'll try and find as big a chicken as you can though. You always get a big chicken.
So we don't have a huge family, so we don't need a lot of food.
Okay, but you said you open presents, spend time with family, because when you have a drink.
Yeah, have a drink,
so you eat
some
festive,
wine.
You eat festive food, do you sing songs? Do you play some loud music or anything like that?
Play music,
play games.
Crappers.
Crappers? Most crackers are crap.
Crackers, I'm using tell crap jokes.
Yeah.
And then it's always tradition, after the food, I'll sit and watch whatever's on TV, and then everyone else will fall asleep. They'll just have the midday nap before tea time.
Literally every single thing you just mentioned there was illegal.
Illegal?
Under Oliver Cromwell. Literally illegal, yeah. I don't mean it was you're just not allowed to, it's illegal. You could go to jail for doing any of the things you just mentioned. He went as far as to force shopkeepers and other workers to go to work on Christmas Day, insisting that Christmas Day was just another work day.
That's the worst.
And that's the thing as well. Fuck going to work on Christmas Day.
I used to work Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. That was bad enough because you don't feel like you're having a break. Because Christmas Day is so hectic. You're tired on Boxing Day, you just want to rest and eat leftovers, and then you have to go to work. It's fuck this.
Yeah, Oliver Cromwell was no, you've got to go to work on Christmas Day. And he had armed guards go through towns and cities, confiscating anything that could be constituted to be Christmassy. The thing is, though, because Christmassy is such a broad term, guards could confiscate anything they felt like and issue people with massive on-the-spot fines. God. And it got to the point where guards could walk into your home and arrest you or fine you if they saw you had a bottle of wine or a turkey that was abnormally large. Because you were allowed to have a turkey, but if you had one that was too large, that meant you were sharing it. And sharing, you're not allowed to do that because that means you invite people over, and that's Christmassy.
I'm just imagining someone being arrested from wearing one of those crappy paper hats. So you're getting the crackers. You're wearing a hat, arrest him.
I imagine it's like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer's the beer baron. Do you know where they go into the Moe's pet shop?
Pet shop, eh?
It's what pet shop is open at 2 a.m. and filled with rambunctious yahoos? And it's the best damn pet shop in town.
The best damn pet shop in town. Yeah!
That just sounds so wrong to be arrested for
celebrating Christmas.
So
yeah.
daft.
And you might be thinking, folks at home, well, surely there was something you could do on Christmas Day, and there really wasn't besides work. And there is a great Horrible Histories bit from which I cribbed most of the information we're talking about today, where it's just a guy dressed as Oliver Cromwell visiting some family. And in the skit, you just have them floundering to think of anything they can do on Christmas Day. And they eventually sit on, well, what about church? Surely going to church is okay on Christmas Day. Nope, guards, church is banned on Christmas. Even going to church.
Guard! Seize them. It's against the law to go to church on Christmas Day. Take these sinners to prison.
What?
Well, it's this place is Jesus.
It's Jesus' birthday. Come on.
Christmas Day is Jesus' birthday, so
It
you
is.
can't go to church. It's related to Jesus.
Also as well, I know for everyone's crying, it's not Jesus' birthday. It's just really funny to say that.
Jesus' birthday.
So have you ever done the thing of if you can't get Christmas wrapping papers, get happy birthday and write to Jesus on it?
No, but I want to do that. I want to do that.
And for anyone curious, why was church specifically banned? Wasn't Oliver Cromwell big on Jesus? Sure, that's the one thing you'd let people do. It's because having numerous people in one location, all celebrating, as he put it, was constituted like, a Christmas celebration.
Oh.
So you couldn't even celebrate your faith on that day. It's like, nah, just go to work, be a cog in the machine.
So either go to work or stay at home and just sit and stare at a wall. That's the safest option, just don't do anything.
Just make sure, though, there's no, holly on your wall, otherwise you are fucked. It sounds so depressing, doesn't it?
Oh, God, yeah, I'd hate that.
And it probably won't surprise anyone watching on to learn that secret Christmas celebrations were commonplace throughout Cromwell's rule. And Nisha, do you want to just hazard a guess at how long the British public put up with this before they went, fuck off, Cromwell?
Maybe a year?
2 decades.
2 decades?
2 decades
No.
with no Christmas.
No.
With nothing fun.
Basically, the Grinch.
Like they say, the Grinch gave Christmas back eventually. Oliver Cromwell.
He's worse than the Grinch.
Yeah, he's worse than the Grinch because eventually the Grinch gave it back after one day. Charles II is widely regarded as one of the most popular kings to have ever ruled Britain, just because he's the king who brought back Christmas. And again, in Horrible Histories, they have a bit where they have a song all about how he brought back partying because everyone was so pissed off with Cromwell he could get away with anything. He's like, can you imagine being the king who comes in and says, oh, you like to celebrate Christmas again? Done.
Everyone loves you.
Done. I can get away with anything now.
I'm the king who brought back partying.
I can't believe 2 decades I could.
2 decades with no Christmas.
I mean, if you were a child and born into it, you wouldn't know any different.
Exactly.
But
So imagine how blown your mind would be. It reminds me a little bit of a story told by Kumail Nanjiani about when he first came to the United States. He says, when he first arrived, it just so happened to be the Macy's Day Parade. And he thought that's what America was every single day.
every day.
They have so much money, they have a party for Garfield every day. Mariah Carey is here.
In his own words, no day has ever topped that day.
Not surprised.
I can't imagine there are many people who were born during the time of Cromwell's rule and got to experience Christmas for the first time. I can't imagine there were many things that topped that first Christmas. So nearby Nisha, as mentioned, today's video is sponsored by The Wool Man. And for people who aren't regular viewers of the channel and have no idea who The Wool Man is, first of all, The Wool Man had no influence on today's content, besides saying, could it be at least a bit Christmassy? And
Yeah.
Nisha, would you like to explain who The Wool Man is for people at home?
Well, the woman is John Chambers.
Yes.
Who lives in Australia.
Yeah.
And has a store that sells so much wool.
So much.
many kinds of wool,
So
like
many.
alpaca wool and stuff like that. It's insane.
And the reason we're talking about Christmas is because he wanted to sponsor a video in the run-up to Christmas to let people know you can buy some of his wool or yarn as a Christmas present because he did a sponsorship last year and it did really, really well. But he did ask me to say one specific thing because he gave me free rein to say whatever I wanted except for one thing, which he specifically wanted clarified, and that is, more important, explain that fibre is not yarn. We had some confused customers last year. Yarn is for knitting and crocheting to make things, and fibre is for spinning to make yarn. We sell both, although they are both different products. So that's the one thing he wanted me to clarify. He said, you can say anything else you want.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
And that's the thing though, because John sponsored the channel so much that I don't even ask him how much anymore. I'm like, I'll do it. It's just, you want me to say, go buy some fucking wool, I'll do that in a video, because it's so funny. Like, other YouTubers have NordVPN or Raid Shadow Legends repeatedly sponsor their videos. So for me, it's just a guy in Australia, a country I've never been to and have no affinity for, that sells wool.
It's so cool and random.
That's what I fucking adore it. And apparently he did really well last year, but I think he bought 2 sponsor spots and the one closest to Christmas didn't do very well because people weren't ordering for Christmas because he couldn't get it shipped out on time. So if you have a desire to buy a loved one who likes wool, some wool, that's the thing is, do you know anybody who knits?
Yes.
Oh.
My mum.
Oh. I was ready to go, no, I don't know anyone who knits. Well, that bit's completely gone. So tell me about your mum. What does she knit?
All sorts. She used to knit me clothes. She used to knit my Barbie doll's clothes.
I'm imagining the Harry Potter jumpers.
Yeah.
The really bad ones that say Harry on them.
No, they were really nice. She used to knit me cardigans and stuff like that, woolly hats when I was a lot younger. Mm-hmm. It's one of the things where she has a lot of different interests of crafts. She'll focus on one craft and then move on to something else. She's done card making. She's made her own soap. She's made her own candles. She kind of goes from different hobby to hobby, and one of her hobbies was knitting. And she occasionally goes back to it.
Just a human Etsy store then, I'd say.
Yeah. I told her she should open a store.
Tell her to open a store and advertise it on the channel.
Oh God, yeah.
That'd be great. This episode's sponsored by Nisha's mum. But it's not though, it's sponsored by a guy who sells wool. It's so stupid. I'm getting paid money to talk about Christmas in... That's the thing. I hate that every year Christmas gets closer and closer in terms of advertising. And for many, many years, it's always been like Halloween. Halloween just stops all of that shit. But lockdown has kind of killed that because in lockdown, no fucker was out trick-or-treating. And it used to be goths would hold the line of like, we're going to stop Christmas advertisements sneaking any earlier.
Yeah.
And like this year, they don't give a fuck. I walked into so many shops where like Halloween and Christmas stuff's in the same aisle in October. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
The goths have fallen. The goth kids can't stop Christmas anymore.
I was in a shop. This was like middle of October, and there was a Christmas song playing, and I was just like, no, it's too soon because it's like it's the most wonderful time of the year. Yeah, Halloween. Halloween.
It's not Christmas until fucking Queen Mariah tells us it is. Did you ever see that amazing like tweet and response where someone like, do you know that thing that trends every year of like the Google trend of what's the song again? The Christmas song she does. All I Want for You is Christmas, yeah. And it's like the little pip. It's like It Begins. Mariah Carey retweeted that and just put not yet. It's like not until she says it.
There's always a meme of like Mariah Carey and Michael Bublé defrosting.
Yeah.
When it nears like November.
It's just them, and then the Coca-Cola truck's just getting like de-ice. It's like, oh no.
That's when I feel Christmassy, is when I used to see that advert.
But now I don't watch TV, so I never
see it now, but when I used to watch that, I was like, yeah, now it's Christmas.
Like, you see, the song they play is like, the holidays are coming.
Holidays are coming.
God, advertising's so bad. I mean, advertising's great. You should definitely support today's sponsor, a man who sells wool. And as always, if people aren't familiar with how we do sponsorships here, the money is split 4 ways, equally between our 3 editors and the channel's coffers. I don't take the money because I draw a wage from the channel as the business owner. That's right, I run a business. Believe it or not.
Big Wangers.
Big Wangers Incorporated Limited. In association with Wool Chambers trademark. I hope he's got it trademarked. I really hope. I've seen his website and it's like the most like Netscape shit ever. It's great. I love it. Never change it. It's like I see John's website and I look at him. That's like the Space Jam website. Never change this.